it would not matter because the higher courts, if he was found guilty, he would appeal, he would win there, it would get tossed back, and none of this would be admissible because they lied to get probable cause. They lied.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I need to keep an eye on my phone. And as some of you know, some of you might not know, Truth and Transparency is going to pop up. Their dinner or their bill or something was taking a little bit long, but they will be here at the Hive. So I'm very excited for that. Samantha, Amateur Sleuth, says, Pov's in the Hive. You want to come up and you want to take Lana's spot for a couple minutes till she gets here? Does anybody else feel this momentum of everybody coming together? It's like, good luck stopping this. Good luck stopping people who have put so many hours into this case. To think that we're just going to, again, believe that we're the problem now. We're the problem now. No, we're not that naive. We're not fools. Lana is backstage, everyone. This changes a lot. It changes a lot in addition to the autopsy, the timeline, just the physical ability that you would need to do this as one person, as we've seen. And I've actually people have made fun of me for saying that I could tell by the way Brian Koberger walks. He can't do this. He cannot do this crime. Nobody can do this crime. He can't do it with that precision without being cut as all these victims put up fights. It's not possible.
Yeah, I think the state kind of blew off their leg there when they had to make it fit in some little cookie cutter, like this has to happen in 2-3 minutes. And they have to do that because they need Dylan Mortensen. Otherwise, they wouldn't. I mean, Brian Koberger could have parked on Willenta and walked, through a couple houses. I mean, they needed to sell their PCA so that they could get an arrest warrant, and they thought that maybe this would just not go to trial. This would be ending in a plea deal. We're going to, cook the books, and it's not going to go to trial, and we're not going to have to worry about it. And I'm not saying Brian Koberger is innocent, but I'm saying the jury, if this went to trial, he would have walked.
Reasonable doubt. I think a lot of people think of it as a loophole, but it's really not. It's a guardrail. It's a guardrail. It's meant to say if there's two possibilities, doubt does survive, right? It is, you should be able to prove it beyond that point. That is the way of the justice system. I've given this example of, we are not a land of laws, we are a land of justice. So for example, Lana, you're in the middle of the road, you're acting a fool, there's an 18-wheeler coming to hit you and squish you like a bug. I try to be a hero and I tackle you out of the way. Okay? You break your leg. Well, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed one morning, you say, I'm going to sue Birdie's ass. He assaulted me. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
You fucker.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But in a land of laws, right? In a land of laws, you're right. I did. I broke the law. I tackled you. I broke your leg. But we have a justice system. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go in front of your peers, and they are supposed to say, was this just? Was it just for Birdie to go and tackle Lana out of the way while she was not in the right headspace or whatever it is? And because he did that to save her life or whatever it is, was that just?
What I think this case is all about is the bigger issue, which is that they never had probable cause to arrest Brian Koberger. They made up probable cause to arrest Brian Koberger. They believed he was their guy. They knew that they could not get him any other way. So we have to lie in the probable cause. And they rolled the dice. And then you're not making chicken noodle soup out of chicken shit. That's just what it is. But so, like, your example is that would be put on the prosecutor whether they're going to bring a charge on to you if you tackle me.
Well, I'm trying to say from like a 40,000 foot view, if we were just a land of laws. So you're saying exactly what my point is that that's not how our justice system works, right? It's they wouldn't have even charged me. They would have understood that. But I'm saying if it was just black and white, cut and dry, yeah, you're right. Okay, but that's not the way that it is supposed to work, right? If there's reason behind why you did what you did. Now, this does not apply to the Idaho 4. I'm just giving that as my mindset.
What you're saying is that if you're getting in the minds of a prosecutor here, a prosecutor is going to know right from wrong, and they would never be charging you with that. Just like in the Idaho 4 case, you would never think that a prosecutor or prosecutors, plural, would be doing any hanky panky because they're in, it's all about integrity. Your case and you are only as good as it's your integrity.
Hey, can you answer this question? I can't find the answer. How many trials did Bill Thompson go to in his 33-year career? Was it 3 or was it 1 or was it 0? Do you know? Does anybody know for sure?
I don't know if he's ever prosecuted a murder case. I think in his 33-year career, Did Molly's husband, did that end in a plea deal, or did he plea?
It must have.
I
believe
just
it
know
did.
that Bill's claim to fame is that he got a conviction
Without a
without a body. So he's gone to court before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going for the cycle. No body, no murder weapon, no sheath. Based on what we've seen, right?
But I
Like,
think that somebody just went in there and was trying to do something else, and then it led to killing 4 people. Absolutely not.
right. It just seems too brutal. It seems too brutal. It seems brutal, and it seems
this is and that's why it's hard to believe
coordinated.
someone like Dylan, who's opening and closing the door 3 times, who's screaming out people's names. Okay, I think that you would be dead. For Dylan not to be dead, that means she wasn't there. I'm sorry, you're not doing the things that you're saying that you're doing, and he's just sparing your life when he just literally, whoever did this, right? If it was multiple people, if it was just him, who doesn't matter. Whoever is responsible, there is no way that Dylan lives.
Are you kind of in the camp of they took it a little bit easy on the roommates, publicly at least?
No, I think that they were skeptical of everything, but when it boiled down to how they needed to, once they got the name Brian Culver and how they had to, like, at that point, it's like, okay, we need Dylan's story. Without Dylan's story, you're not able to put a timeline to when the acts happened because of the 911 call being delayed 9 hours.
I actually thought, in addition to that, what might even be more of an anchor to the timeline is the DoorDash order.
Yeah,
that seemed to be really pushed. I'm talking narrative.
Well,
right. So yeah,
if you order food though at 3, and by the time it gets there at 4, and you got Molly fucking jacking around, walking all over. Fuck, I should have had my food at 3:45. You know, but it just shows me it just matters of when the phone placed the order. Okay, what device placed the order, and then I want to know everything that the device was doing after the order was placed. But nobody ever wants to talk about the health data. You would think in this day and age, health data is extremely important. And yet they don't make their case with any health data, which tells me that it's not conducive to the narrative. Otherwise, they'd be using it. So like the steps and shit.
Yeah. Oh, I think that absolutely. And especially now you got Oura rings, you got, I got a, what do they call it? Fitbit, you got your phone, you got Apple Watch, you got all this shit, right? Yeah. Like it's biohacking. Yeah. You can absolutely use it for solving cases. Do you think that this is a mystery? Like, do you think that what happened?
My source tells me that Bethany never went to sleep. So there you go. There's a bomb for you, Birdie.
At all. The toothache, all that.
Never went to sleep. Yeah. That they never went to sleep. Yeah. And I think the only way that you can kind of just, I'll give you one word: health data. That's the only way that you'd be able to.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wait,
just,
in the body cam, is she wearing anything? Is she wearing an Apple Watch or something?
Yeah, no, like their cell phones, like their phones are clearly taking steps when they're trying to say that they're sleeping.
Or if they're in their pockets. But I'm saying I'd be curious. Like, I'm sure they have their phones on them at that point when the 911 call happened.
No, I'm talking like during
yeah,
at 4:30 in the morning. If you say that you're texting from your bedroom, if you have steps that are taking, if you have 60 to 100 steps from 4:30 to 4:37, what are you doing? If you have another 60 to 140 steps at 4:45 to 5:25, what are you doing? You're not sleeping. So then you're going to have to explain that your phone was in your pocket and that you were fucking. And that's how the movement's happening.
Real life, actually, probably.
That's the only thing that you could try to say. Otherwise, you're making steps with your, like, are you going to try to argue and say that
Murphy stole the phone? Murphy.
That your phone is counting your, going up and down,
Holy shit. You only took 3 steps.
You could say, oh my God, I was pacing around my room. But the health data is explosive.
Is that exculpatory evidence? I just saw somebody, and I'm sorry.
It would be exculpatory for the time. You guys, Bethany's exculpatory evidence is the fact that she heard what she heard down on the first level. Firecracker, flashlight, flash boom, whatever. She's the one that actually calls Dylan. Dylan never calls her first. Bethany calls Dylan to alert her to, oh my God, what's that noise? Did you just hear that? What the fuck is going on up there? Versus, and which is really important, the time of that phone call, which is at 4:19 and like 6 seconds. And it lasts 21 seconds. During that 21-second phone call, 29 barks can be heard from Murphy. Murphy barks 29 times during the 21 seconds. And that's at 4:19 and starts at like 6 seconds and goes for 21 seconds. It wasn't Dylan calling Bethany to say, "Oh my God, there's a fucking masked man in the house."
Right.
It's Dylan from 3:51 when she saved the number in her phone, which she doesn't tell anybody about. What's going on from 3:51 until she picks up Bethany's call at 4:19? Come on. There's no time to see. When did you see Brian? Because he has to be in the car and flying away at 4:20 and 40 seconds. So when did you, what you're lying. This is all.
That's what it comes down to. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
It does not. Yes. It's fucked. It's a problem. That's why I go back to my thing when I said something happened at 4:00. I believe that something did happen at 4:00. And that's a problem because that car that you're saying is the suspect's vehicle is not there at 4:00. And holy shit, what does that mean? Well, that means that
it means everything's wrong.
That means that car isn't what you think it is, but that doesn't, but they had no choice. The state had to try to put a nexus to be able to say that it's Kohlberger and like this whole sheath, you know,
right.
They had to go and use that because the car, they didn't care that Jack Showalter had a black BMW. He has a black BMW. So he should be, why did you even like keep on creeping up his ass?
Right.
Like all of this is flawed. Your methodologies, your thought processes, your arguments, they all fucking suck. Hence the big problem on why I think that anybody would be exonerated if this is the case that they were going to present. And that's why Bill Thompson, within an hour, took the plea deal that he offered.
Right. It's funny how that's spun.
Dude, the only person that could offer a plea deal is the fucking prosecution. Let's not get that twisted. Yeah. I could want one, but you have to offer it to me. I can't say, "Oh my God, please give me a plea deal," and then I get one. I
don't know about people. I don't know if it happened to you, but for me, I kind of like gaslit myself. I'm like, does that work? Is that, did I not like, I literally was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that might actually, you're
Holy
right.
Shit, I gaslit myself. I am dead. I gaslit myself.
We had a question from Chrissy that had asked to talk about this extortion thing, and I typed into the chat. So I have a clip from my stream last night. I played it right in the beginning. You weren't on yet. It's 2 minutes. I'm going to play that. If you have not seen this, let me just pull it up here. So here is the document. If you guys want to go and look it up, here's what it is. Exhibit 4 in support of objection to state's motion and eliminate AT&T timing advance records. Now this says case ID. It has the number with cast. You got Brian Koberger, the MPD, the 4 victims, and then it says extortion, aggravated, or overt threats. Well, what does this mean? When you see that language, your ears should perk up. This is huge. It's absolutely huge. It's a nuke in any other theories, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you. True to it. This was my thought exactly. Of all of the things to not react, this is insane. What does that language mean where it says extortion, aggravated, or overt threats in this context? This document tells us, okay, it's got a confirmed FBI case number. This means it was federally classified under surveillance. That's huge. Okay, this was not just classified under, quote, murder or homicide. So what that bottom line is, that's known as a key classification term. It says, word for word, in quote, extortion, aggravated, or overt threats. This is the FBI's own classification of the case. It's listed directly under Koberger and the victims. That is not an opinion. That is not a theory. That is not a conspiracy. That is how the feds literally cataloged the event.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Huge. Now, Lana, do you know the answer in that document? If I were to, let me just get out of this so I can pull it up a little bit here. This might be a dumbass question. Okay. Mm-hmm. I reserve the right to ask a couple of dumbass questions. Okay. Oops.
I love dumbass questions.
Yeah. Well, it's
At
like
least you're honest about it.
Yeah. So I don't know this answer.
I tell my kid there's not a dumbass question. You ask away, motherfucker.
So my question is this. So if we look right here where it's up at Brian Koberger's name, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that it matters that it says subject and not suspect? And why do you think
No, I think for the feds, he's the subject of the investigation.
So that wouldn't mean that by having subject instead of suspect, they're not looking into what Koberger's role potentially is still. Like they're not like even that
Well,
doesn't
he's
mean
the
that
subject of the investigation, so that's just what
right.
that means.
So
He's
they're
the-
not ready to call him guilty, is what it's saying.
He's
He's just
not,
involved. He's involved.
Yeah, it's you're the subject of why we are doing what we're doing.
You're being watched.
We're gathering our information because of you, because of what is being, we're trying to what basically has happened. We are like Jack Showalter could be the subject of something. Molly McMichaels was the subject of the trap and trace when they did that. Like she would have been the subject. Unless you want to unless you were going to classify it as like 1122 King Road homicides, I doubt that they would have done that. But Molly, you're the subject of whatever they're looking into.
Yeah, I was wondering if, because as you know, language. Oh, this is a dumb comment to you, but it's like language matters in these things big time.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So
and you can look at who wrote that. Nick Balance wrote it, and fucking Ed Jacobson signed off on it. I fucking died. That two peas in a pod, both of them should be fired. They're absolutely fucking horrible. They're liars. This is not Ed Jacobson's first rodeo. He was involved with the Dan Moore case. He literally in Ed Jacobson's interviewing skills is absolutely atrocious to the point that are you not listening to what this motherfucker is telling you and saying to you? In the Jennifer Drake case, the shots happened so much earlier than Jennifer Drake's 911 call. He knew that. He buried it. So then you get to, oh my God, Ed Jacobson's the local FBI task force dude. He actually ran for like, I don't know, sheriff or chief of some, I think Rathdrum police department here after the murders, right after or right before Kohlberger pled. And I knew that was coming. It was a big ploy. You can always tell, but you don't want Ed Jacobson running anything. These two guys being involved in writing reports and signing off on each other's reports, holy shit is all I can say. I said the leak came from Ed Jacobson. When I saw this shit, holy shit.
That confirmed it for you?
Oh my fuck, God, I loved it. When I saw that Ed Jacobson and fucking Nick Balance were on the same goddamn form, I had an orgasm. It was
the
fucking
old Key West.
It was amazing.
Key West boomerang.
It was a Key West boomerang into an explosion into like Lana. This is how smart you are. I literally fucking said, brains, look at you go, girl. Because I told you guys it was Ed Jacobson. Go back and listen to my shit. I said Ed Jacobson's all over this motherfucking leak. He knows fucking Shane Bishop. Trust me.
So that was your first thought. Was that because you looked into it? But what do you think? So if people aren't in that position where they looked into it to connect it, right? Because that was what you had said. You called it. If somebody hadn't done that, if you hadn't done that, what would your opinion be on seeing that kind of
after I would have seen this? Yeah, after I would have seen this and I did not know who Ed Jacobson was, I immediately would have been on looking into Ed Jacobson. Does that make sense? Because I already know Nick Balance is a piece of shit because he's lying about the timing advance, right? And I wanted to know who's signing off on Nick Balance's shit. They must be a bigger piece of shit. So I would start looking into Ed Jacobson like this. If I didn't already know about him, I would be looking into him.
What was your what tipped you off on a Nick? Like the first thing, if you can remember.
Well, the PCA.
Right, but I'm saying, was there anything specifically?
And Ray came out, blasted his ass. Ray fucking said, "You lied, motherfucker," because once Payne is saying, "Hey, dude, I don't know anything about phones, man. Whatever they're saying, I'm just writing
it's a working
down."
document amongst multiple people too.
I'm just writing it down, and then it was like, okay, wow, this is amazing. So the PCA, yep, you lied. He knew that Brian Koberger's phone was not shut off at 2:46, whatever the fuck time he said. Dude, he knew it and he buried it. He fucking buried it. You sick son of a bitch. Someone like a Lori Daybell could go free because of your fucking ass, Nick. Because Nick was involved in that case and Chad Daybell's. These people get away with the shit because the cases either go to trial and they're just such winnable cases that you even needed to railroad a motherfucker. But this case needed to go to trial. And since it didn't, someone like a Nick Balance gets a pass. And you think he's going to stop doing what he's doing? No.
No, you fail upwards.
No,
right? You fail upwards.
I can only hope that the FBI demotes his ass gets him out of, put him, I don't know, get him the.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about Cash Patel being so great. Hey, I wrote Cash Patel and said, hey, hi, Nick Balance, fire him. Love Idaho.
The portal to hell. Right?
He's about to take down. Yeah, he's about to. It's just ridiculous.
Let me ask you this.
Fuck
so
Cass.
Clearly in this manner and in this context, I'm now trying to put all this into to try to sum it up. In my head, I don't think that extortion means demanding money with a threatening letter.
Oh, you want to know what that means? I'll tell you what that means.
Please.
They lied.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay. So this is what it was.
Yeah.
They made up a reason. So if you look at the date, if you pull that back up, can you pull the
Yep.
form back up? Okay, I want to show you what this is for.
All
So if
right.
you look at this, if you scroll down, so basically this is Ann Taylor's, what she's doing in this is this was a response. This was their evidence. They're using an exhibit to say, here you go, motherfuckers, we got you. Okay.
You want me to stop here?
Which is this. So if you scroll back, go back to the page where Ann's talking, and I just want to point out what she's saying here. Yeah, forget him.
Zoom out.
Where she says what she's doing this for. This is an exhibit. Yeah, right there. Comes now Brian C. Culver by and through his attorneys of record and hereby file under seal Exhibit 4 in support of their objection to the state's motion limiting, which is AT&T. Like they want us not to be able to ask any questions about AT&T timing advance, and because you guys are saying we've never had your clients, timing advance. Boom. What Ann Taylor is saying is that here is the evidence that we are going to provide that shows that we know that y'all have his timing advance. So then scroll down to this is one of the exhibits, and she uses what they provided, meaning the state provided the defense in discovery by accident. Okay, one of the things is yes, you were trying to say that this Gordon guy was going to explain how he didn't, they're bullshit, that they didn't get any time.
Hey, Lana, I hear your voice. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're frozen though.
Oh, I'm frozen?
Yeah, your voice is coming through clear, at least on my end, but your picture was frozen.
Am I still frozen?
A little bit. It like about 2 minutes ago got really blurry. Yeah, you're frozen now. I don't know.
I'm still frozen?
Do you want to pop out and pop in?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Hive, type of one, if you guys kind of can wrap your head around how big of a deal the fact that it says the word extortion and overt threats with everybody that's involved in this case, as far as Koberger and the victims. I just can't. I'm able to wrap my head around it. I'm just shocked that I'm having to try to.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, much better. Much
Okay.
much
So
better.
sorry. Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was using their own shit that they provided to the defense. And then if you scroll a little bit more, they then provided and said, hey, at some point in time, Nick Balance provided a report that he wrote up. And the date that he wrote up there, scroll down there, it says 4/22/2024. So on 4/22/2024, Nick Balance writes up a report because he did something. He's memorializing something that he did. And what he did was he up right there. Just a little bit right there at the top. Title. It says to document additional records from AT&T. He's saying that we went out and got additional records from AT&T. Okay. Now, scroll down. Scroll like that. And it's because we went out and got additional records. So he's saying that at one point in time, if you keep on scrolling right to the screenshot, keep going, boom, right there. Those 3 phone numbers belong to Xana Carnardo, Madison, and Jack John Showalter. And then there's Geofence. Okay. So those are those 3 phones. So
wow. Hang on. What do you think the geofence is? If you had to guess.
Well, I think that they created a bunch of geofences. So one thing that I do know is that Jack Showalter told them that he went a different route home from going straight down through Idaho. He actually made like that loop to come around, which put him in through Washington.
Yep.
So you can be putting a geofence up, obviously around the house in an area.
Can you retroactively do that? So can you
Well,
retroactively go
that's
back
what
and
this is
do
about.
it? Okay, that's
Well,
okay.
that's what this is about. Is that what would have happened? What you should have done is you do preservations. So if I put a preservation order in, you don't need to know the suspect. I do not need to know who the suspect is. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the investigation. I have to preserve the data in the areas to say that once I do find a suspect, okay, then they're going to be in these. So I'm going to create these geofences and I'm asking to preserve the data. And so basically what you would have done if you are doing best practice, you would have preserved the area around the house. You would have preserved, all of the area around the campus. You know what I mean? And then there's no doubt in my mind that you would have preserved the area around Pullman because it's the surrounding area. And that means if you would have preserved those areas, right? And you did this time frame that you're all, talking about. If you do all of that, then eventually when you get to a suspect, he's eventually going to be in that geofence because you're going to be expanding on your geofence times. Like if we believe that the killer, like what they put in the probable cause, you believe that he drove out of there and he got out of Dodge. And since you didn't catch him on any of these other cameras, you would believe that he's fleeing. So you're going to have a geofence set up. So I don't know specifically which one this is for, but what I can tell you is that they, in April, August, whatever it is, 2024, they sought out more records. And that's where it's interesting to say you're seeking out more records, but truly are you, or are you trying to disguise and make it seem like you got these records then when you really got these records back in fucking November and December? But you're
Can you explain what that means though? Can you explain what that would mean though? And in terms of like why it would,
you're hiding
say
what you got
extortion.
'em.
So, but in terms of why it says that extortion thing, I see comments coming in. They're like, but what does that mean?
Well, last time I checked, dead people, okay, can't extort people.
Correct.
Last time I checked,
absolutely, yeah.
living people can't extort dead people.
So what?
So you're lying about Nick Balance is lying in using the word extortion to create that this would be a federal.
Oh my God.
Why you're getting a search? Why you're getting a subpoena?
So you're telling me that this is just some fucking sly
That's what I think,
ass
yeah.
move.
Yes, and I think that's why they put that in there. That's
a really good take, Lana.
I think it's not just a good take. I think it's
it's an elite take. That's really good.
I think that's what it is.
God damn it. That makes so much sense.
It's a way to get, and what I personally believe is that you're acting like,
wow.
If you want to act like you just got these records or you had these records, or I don't give a fuck what you want to pretend. Nick Balance deserves to never work again. Cy Ray was going to end this man's career and he didn't have the opportunity, and Bill Thompson saved his career. That's what I'm talking about. Ending careers.
Well, and in a way though, that in my head,
you would have to explain all this.
Right. Which in my head, when you said that's what led to the plea deal, and Taylor could have ended careers. That's why it led to the plea deal. That's why Bill Thompson said, I accepted the plea deal. It's like, no, you offered it, dude. Like you offered it. Well, did you offer it because you knew that everybody that
that's why there was leaks. They were trying to never have this go to trial. Have you ever heard of a suspect's phone, Cellbrite, fucking leaking out to the fucking world? Dateline has the fucking dude's cell phone. Are you kidding me?
So then, Lana,
nobody wants to talk about this. Ask people some serious questions. Get the Barnharts up here and let me just say, hey, I think you guys are amazing at what you do. I think that we need people like you. Great, awesome. I want to know why you guys weren't called in to look into the roommates' phones with the Cellbrite, to look into the victims' phones when we didn't have a suspect for 6 to fucking 7 weeks. Why weren't you guys called in then to fucking drum up some?
Wow.
Let's figure out what the fuck's going on here. So it's really
I am mind
disturbing.
blown right now.
Yeah.
This is back-to-back nights. I'm mind blown because but also at the way that in my head that I'm kind of interpreting it, right? When you pointed that out about the extortion, why he would say that, like, boom, that makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. It makes
all
absolute. Now,
why are you
how does that fit
Jack
in though?
Showalter's? How about this? Why are you needing Jack Showalter's Xana's Jack Showalter, Xana, and Maddie's. What do you need more of that you don't have? In 2024, Brian Kohlberger at this point has been arrested in 2023 in January, right there at the end of December, right? You have your whole year, and then you have a half of a year. So a year and a half, and you're going to go out there and you're going to tell me that you need more records for what exactly? Between two deceased people's phones, right?
Yeah.
And one kid who's you. What's the problem here? What's Ann Taylor getting at that's got you guys' fucking feathers all ruffled?
The only thing that I can think about, if we're
the
talking
nothing.
Like
the answer's nothing. You're trying to do something that you're they fucked up.
Can I ask your opinion on this then? So, right, MPD assistance is on here, and Brian Koberger's on here. You had said the quote, and that's what made it click. You're like, last time I checked, dead people can't extort living people, and living people can't extort dead people. But these are the only two entities on this document right here that are alive. So I do wonder.
Yeah, because they're assisting. What it means is that the FBI is assisting the Moscow Police Department. This is to obtain. Okay, let me back this up.
So you're saying this is all just a bunch of language to get around it, essentially. You're
getting a subpoena. You went and got a subpoena. You went and got records. The only way you can go and get stuff like this is you supply a subpoena. So why are you supplying? Why wouldn't Moscow Police Department be going and seeking this out? Why? What's going on here?
Dude, I'm trying to like piece it together right now.
Because do you remember what Cy Ray and them said? That we didn't receive records on people until 2024 with our client. We didn't receive records for the victims and stuff like that until 2024, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, if you're trying to hide what you truly got back, let's say in 2020, if you're trying to make it seem like that you didn't ever go and get Jack John Showalter's anything, no, we didn't go and get his shit. We just did it now. I'd have to see the whole entire report, but this first page is all that was needed to literally let Nick Balance know that Cy Ray knows what the fuck you did. You understand? That's what that was for. It was a fuck you. It was a because the next day was the hearing. You know, when Cy Ray put in his affidavit, that was in March. This gets filed in April 8th, okay, of 2025 for a hearing on the 9th.
So intuitively Irish said, and I've seen like 5 comments come in that's like summarized. Intuitively Irish said, can you dumb it down for us? Because even for myself, Lana, right? Okay. I'm not afraid to ask questions that I don't know the answer to. Because when you had just said, this is language, as I had already addressed and acknowledged, that absolutely matters in documents like this. Why at this time and why those people is the mindfuck, right? And then Cy Ray's comments and all these things, right? So how do you sum up what would even be the argument to how he thinks he could get away to extortion? That's what I'm confused about now. Why would he ever think that would work? Nobody would look into it?
No, are you saying like labeling the document?
Yes, like the key classification line, like right, this one, you know, the extortion, the aggravated, right, that one. Why would he even try to get away with that? This is in 2024.
Because he's looking into the fact of was somebody extorting? Was Jack Showalter extorting any of these girls? Were any of these girls extorting Jack Showalter? Is there any motive there? Because Ann Taylor's coming with the whole third-party culprits and blah, blah, blah. And is there any type of a motive? But he's trying to use this to get what he's saying is to get more documents. Well, guess what? They were duplicate documents, meaning that you have already had them. So if you scroll back up and you look at what's his dick says, I believe that they already had these records. And so it doesn't make sense that you're asking for them again if you've already had them. If they're duplicate, like
this page,
when he says, if you scroll down,
all records.
It's like when you say,
the records were copied from electronic devices.
So this is how all he's saying is, all I can tell you is that this material was either got by an electronic device, a storage medium, or files in custody of AT&T. He's not anywhere saying here that he provided these documents, because what Cy Ray is going to testify to, in my opinion, is that Nick Balance, they went their back door and they were able to get whatever they wanted whenever they wanted, and they went as far out as during this time period in April of 2024. They were able to get these people's timing advance records for fucking way back all the way to 2022. How can you do that? There's only 7 days.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask. Can you humor me with a little bit of a tinfoil hat and tell me why that would make a reasonable argument? I don't understand that. Why would they even?
Because he's saying that you guys can go all the way back and get Brian Kohlberger's. So I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't have gone back and got Brian Kohlberger's once you knew his name.
That's what I'm asking.
You could do it with all these people. We find it hard to believe that you would not do it with who's your fucking suspect. That's
why wouldn't they have done it?
No, they did. The point is that they did, and they're acting like they didn't. And they're lying. They're lying.
Yeah, they're lying.
Because this is why. Simple. Because it blows up the probable cause.
Holy shit, dude.
Because you knew the whole fucking time that the fucking kid's phone didn't turn off.
And Sammy that it did. And Sammy T just said, and if Nick admitted he already got the timing advance reports and got shit the way the FBI manual said in their own investigative tactics, you can get these reports. You had these reports, is what.
Yeah, and so you lied in your because once Payne says that I relied on Nick Balance to write up the report, and so not the report, but the PCA,
right?
Nick Balance knew that he was supplying Payne. Hey, yeah, say that the phone shut off at this time, knowing that it had all these handoffs. Okay, so he knows all of that. He knows the phone is doing whatever, and he knows that he can't put the phone on that sedan that they want to put it in. Because that's how we're not going to use the IGG. What this ends up doing is when you present this to the jury, it's saying they lied about all of this. So what else did they lie about? And that's where the whole IGG comes into play. This whole planting of the fucking these are the people that we're dealing with, and you don't think that this the sheath was planted. And that's what all of us as Americans should be backing, because what Hitler did is un-American.
Right, and that's the common ground that I believe people need to start to see and wake up to. I'm not getting up on a soapbox and preaching that, but it's like,
I'll preach it. It's bullshit.
Well, I have been, but I mean, it's like, guys, we can all disagree. We just can't turn against each other. We can disagree about whatever. Who gives a shit? We just can't turn against each other, because everybody in here, are really all that we have at the end of the day. People like us. Yeah.
We want the truth.
That's it.
Everybody in here, you can think he's guilty. You can think he's innocent. Guess what? I guarantee you, we want the truth. I want to know if you want, it's like your math homework. Show me that you know how to do multiplication. Show me that you know how to do division. Show your work, motherfuckers. Period. And I'm just so sick and tired of mainstream media who has all of these followers, and they literally suck everybody's dick. They don't ask any questions. Oh, that sounds great. Let's interview you. Whatever you want to say, we're going to give you this platform. Keep on pushing this narrative. And I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And now they're infiltrating fucking YouTube. Now these bobbleheads coming on over here.
The couch commandos. Well said. And Lana, thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up. I've been
Love you. Yeah, I need to go to bed. It's like 11.
You guys rock. To everybody that tuned in, hit that like button on the way out. Let's clown horn the mainstream media.
I fucking love you, Bernie. Yeah. I love your
chat.
This
was epic. Yep.
You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And hey, I love your tin foils. We can go all day with that. I think it's actually really helpful for a couple reasons, because when you're shooting the shit with somebody and you're talking outside the box, if you don't think that that's exactly what those assholes did in this case, they all got together and figured out, how the fuck can we make a PCA work? They did exactly what y'all are doing every fucking night. Yeah. So cheers.
Yeah,
love
cheers
you.
To that. I love you too. Thank you, everybody that tuned in for the 3.5 hours.
Your wifey poo. I can't wait to see the baby. Bye, buddy.
Cheers. See ya.